Edward and Owen review movies and TV shows. Today we are going to review an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, The Last Action Hero, cool title.
Oh yeah.
And here's a quick summary without any spoilers. There's this kid called Danny and he finds a golden ticket while he's watching a movie called Jack Slater 4. By the way, Jack Slater is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, Arnold Schwarzenegger is in the movie world and this golden ticket allows transportation from the movie world to the real world or from the real world to the movie world. And it has a mind of its own, which means it brings Danny into the movie world. And so Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jack Slater and Danny both helped each other to try to defeat a bad guy called Benedict and also another bad guy called Ripper.
Yeah, so I liked this movie. I think it was pretty good, but my overall review out of 10 is 6 out of 10, which is it's like good, because 5 is kind of like great, 5.
Well, 5 out of 5, but yeah. If it's out of 10, then it's like okay.
Yeah, and then 4 out of 5 is like very good. 3 out of 5 is like good. 2 out of 5 is like
and then 1 out of 5 is like I'm bored.
Yeah, really bored. But anyway, so now a detailed review, a bit more detailed than just numbers, but I enjoyed the action sequences in this movie. A lot of explosions and like Arnold Schwarzenegger, actually Jack Slater in this movie, walking out of exploding buildings and things and always surviving all this stuff in the movie world. And also the humor was pretty good. Like, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger actually did a good job of being a comedic character.
Yes, very good.
Yeah. And the concept, that's my favourite part. The concept of the movie is that someone can go into the movie world and then meet all their favourite characters and things. And I've got one question for you.
Yes.
If you were in this movie, so if you were in Last Action Hero,
yes.
Not Jack Slater 4, but Last Action Hero, and you got the golden ticket, what movie would you go into? Or TV show?
Star Wars The Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, okay. For me, it'll probably be Star Trek First Contact, which is like Star Trek 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. Star Trek 7. There's a lot of Star Trek movies. But there's a lot of Star Wars movies coming out now. Yeah. Anyway, so if you haven't looked at our channel, we actually do some videos debating Star Wars and Star Trek movies.
Yes.
And this year, at the end of this year probably, if you watch the last video, you'll see which one, by our standards, is officially better.
Yes.
Anyway, so the parts of this movie that I didn't like was the acting, because it didn't really feel real sometimes. It felt that Danny, the actor, sometimes you could see that he was acting, and sometimes you want to think that he's actually the character. You want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger actually being Jack Slater instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because it's the characters you want to see, not the actors, if you know what I mean.
Well, yes, that is very true. So I'm going to move on to my review. And so my review is a 7 out of 10. And it's an action comedy movie, this. It's got all that action you like, all that comedy you like.
And sometimes in the same scene, like,
oh yeah,
it's action comedy.
And so another bit that I like in this is when Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to AC/DC and asks, "Can you write us a song for The Last Action Hero?" And their big gun was, like evolved. Maybe not evolved, but it was written.
Well, that was actually not in the movie. That was just like in the production.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, if that had happened in the movie, that would have been like, what? They had like AC/DC in the movie.
I know, that would have been great.
Anyway, speaking about, well, that would have been a bit more of a cameo. Speaking about cameos in this movie, there are a lot of movie references and some cameos. So this is one of my favorite scenes, just skip into that. When Danny and Jack Slater walk into the police headquarters, it's like blink and you miss it. This police officer walks out and Danny looks at him and he's got this stern face, and he's actually T-1000 from a movie called Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which Arnold Schwarzenegger is also in, and he plays the Terminator. He's really cool. And there are also some other movie references, including movies such as Basic Instinct, Die Hard, The Hunt for Red October, Medicine Man, and Raw Deal. And then there are some more obvious ones. Actually, not too obvious, especially Lethal Weapon when Jack Slater walks out of a building and a house, and behind him it's exploding and there's fire everywhere. Oh. There's this guy in this tree. He's literally hanging out of a tree.
He's a police officer.
Yeah, and he's like, 2 days to retirement, and that's a reference to the movie Lethal Weapon. And then later in the movie, I won't spoil anything, but basically a character from The Seventh Seal, a movie 1953 or 1957 or something, comes out of the movie. I think he's Death, but I think that's his name, Death. But he comes out of the movie, and I don't want to spoil too much else.
Anyway, speaking about favourite parts and stuff, was that your favourite part, or do you have another favourite part?
My favourite part is probably when Jack Slater fights the Ripper closer to the end of the movie. But then I don't want to get too much into that, because if people are watching this and they haven't seen it, it's one of the most major spoilers, definitely, yeah.
Anyway, my favourite bit would be, so Jack Slater is trying to save the city from a gas in a dead person, but they fall into a mud pit. This is very, 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 very minor spoiler here. And they fall into a mud pit. Jack Slater swims out, and Danny is waiting for him. By the way, this is in the movie world. And then
it gets a bit confusing, doesn't it?
Yes. The dead man's bottom just starts rising, and then it just decreases.
Yeah, that was
like he kind of had a gas in him. Anyway,
that was just really weird.
Kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, the humour in this movie, that's like one of the right humour scenes. Another fact is that anyone who's watching this probably knows the famous director Steven Spielberg. If you don't, then he's famous for directing movies such as Jaws, Schindler's List, Munich, Ready Player One. That's one of his more recent movies. Yes. I don't know if he directed E.T. I don't know if he directed Close Encounters, but he probably did, because he directed so much movies. But he was actually offered the chance to direct this movie, but instead he chose to direct Schindler's List, which is a movie set in World War II about the Holocaust. And I think he still should have directed Schindler's List, because that's in like top 100 movies of all time. But
if he directed this movie, it
probably would have been a lot better, because he could have told the actors, like, this is how you actually want to act.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, anyway.
So, thank you for listening. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.
And ring the bell down below to hear more news about our latest videos.
Yes. Thank you and goodbye.